When you say to Tabaki, my brother, when you call the hyena to meet, you may cry the full truce with jackal, the belly that runs on 4 feet. Jungle Law.
Respect the aged.
It was a thick voice, a muddy voice that would have made you shudder. A voice like something soft, breaking in two. There was a quaver in it, a croak and a whine.
Respect the aged, O companions of the river. Respect the aged.
Nothing could be seen on the broad reach of the river, except a little fleet of square-sailed, wooden-pinned barges, loaded with building stone, that had just come under the railway bridge, and were driving downstream. They put their clumsy helms over to avoid the sandbar made by the scour of the bridge piers, and as they passed, 3 abreast, the horrible voice began again.
O Brahmins of the river, respect the aged and infirm.
A boatman turned where he sat on the gunwale, lifted up his hand, said something that was not a blessing, and the boats creaked on through the twilight. The broad Indian River, that looked more like a chain of little lakes than a stream, was as smooth as glass, reflecting the sandy red sky in mid-channel, but splashed with patches of yellow and dusky purple near and under the low banks. Little creeks ran into the river in the wet season, but now their dry mouths hung clear above the waterline. On the left shore, and almost under the railway bridge, stood a mud-and-brick and thatch-and-stick village, whose main street, full of cattle going back to their buyers, ran straight to the river, and ended in a sort of rude brick pierhead, where people who wished to wash could wade in step by step. That was the ghat of the village of Mugger Ghat. Night was falling fast over the fields of lentils and rice and cotton, in the low-lying ground yearly flooded by the river. Over the reeds that fringed the elbow of the bend, and the tangled jungle of the grazing grounds behind the still reeds, the parrots and crows, who had been chattering and shouting over their evening drink, had flown inland to roost, crossing the outgoing battalions of the flying foxes.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?